Let's talk about joints today. No, I'm not talking about the kind you roll. We can talk about that another time. I'm talking about knee, wrist, elbow, and shoulder joints, the kind you hurt. And as we get older, they get hurt more often and they take longer to heal. You might have seen the Expendables movies that came out over the past few years. I think there was one last year. The very first one with Sylvester Stallone and Arnold Schwarzenegger came out in 2010. Stallone was about 63, 64 at the time, and he looked incredible. He was shredded, he was defined, he had very little body fat. And I read an interview with him and they asked him what his workout routine was. And he said at this age, it's all about managing pain. And I can agree with that. Because over the years, I've had to change my exercise routine to hit the same body part, but at a different angle, so it didn't affect my joint. And I don't say that to scare anybody off of exercise, of course not. You just have to be cautious about what you're doing. A really good friend of mine and I used to play racquetball 2-3 times a week at the local YMCA. We had such a good time. It was just a laugh fest. And we played until I couldn't swing the racket anymore with my right hand. It hurt too much. I went to go see an orthopedist and he said, I have golfer's elbow, which comes from the backhand. He gave me a cortisone shot, and the problem with cortisone masks the pain. It doesn't heal anything. And you can only get so many cortisone shots before you start doing some interior damage. So I got the cortisone shot. We continued to play, again, until I couldn't, until the cortisone wore off. My friend was experiencing the same problem at this time. I'm a righty, he's a lefty. We switched. I learned to play left-handed, he learned to play right-handed, so we continued playing for a while, again, until we couldn't play anymore. Now there's 4 basic elements that make up your joint. There's bones, there's ligaments which connect bone to bone, there are tendons which connect muscle to bone, and then there's myofascia, which is kind of like a web-like connective tissue that runs throughout your entire body, connecting everything, muscle, organs, etc. Other than arthritis, usually when you experience pain in a joint, it's tendinitis, an inflammation of the tendons. This is caused by repetitive movements, overuse, overstretching, and that's what usually hurts, and you just need to give it enough time to rest, which is why, again, I would try to find exercises to work around that body part. Now, I tried the typical, the common joint mobility supplements that we probably all know. Glucosamine, chondroiitin, they didn't work for me. Doesn't mean they won't work for you. Everybody's different and you have to try things, you have to experiment. But those 2 didn't work for me. I tried something called Astaxanthin, supposed to be really excellent. It didn't work for me either. Then I tried Bi-Flex triple strength. Didn't work. I even tried Knox gelatin because I heard that was something good. Then I came across something called Bromelain, which is an extract from pineapple. Bromelain is a proteolytic enzyme, and without getting all sciencey on you, proteolytic enzymes are found in all living things. And what they do is they break down protein into amino acids, which our body can use. So I tried the bromelain, and it helped. Didn't help completely, it helped to a degree. The interesting thing about bromelain is that if you take it with your meal, it aids in digestion, acid reflux. If you take it between meals, it aids in joint mobility. Then a friend of mine in my Toastmasters group told me that her husband had been suffering from years with his knees. It hurt him to walk until she came across something called Boswellia extract. Boswellia extract is from the Boswellia serrated tree of India, more commonly known as frankincense. There have been clinical studies on it. I did some research. It's supposed to help with osteoarthritis, also help with Crohn's disease. So I went on Amazon. I looked at the different brands, saw what the reviews are, how many people were taking, and I started to take the Boswellia extract, and that helped. I don't know if it was a combination of that along with the bromelain or that alone, but it helped. Again, nothing was 100%. It's my left elbow, and if I press on it, it still hurts. I remember one day, this just an aside, I remember one day I'm cooking something on the stove, and I lift up the pan with my left hand, it's got some food in it. What's that weigh, 2 pounds? And I couldn't do it. My hand fell, and I had to support it with my right hand. So it's important to look for these supplements, and that's my journey so far. And what I'll do is I'll keep you informed as I try new things and what's worked for me, what hasn't worked for me. And if you do me a favor, down below in the comments section, tell me what's worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, so we can all learn. And if you're watching this anywhere other than fitpast50now.com, head on over there. That's where all the action is.